Vital signs are one of the most important and commonly performed tasks of a medical assistant. Here at Advanced Training, this is one of our sample lessons for vital signs. We teach both blood pressure, manually and electronic, respirations, temperature, and pulse. The first task we'll be performing is a manual blood pressure. With a manual blood pressure, you need a blood pressure cuff and a stethoscope. Sherry's going to perform our first task of taking a blood pressure manually. Sherry, go ahead and apply the blood pressure cuff. The blood pressure cuff is applied approximately 2 centimeters above the anacubical space. The anacubical space is the crook of your elbow, making sure to line it up with the brachial artery. And here's your stethoscope.
Thank you.
Okay. You're going to place the belly of your stethoscope without using your thumb into the anacubical space. Our thumb has its own pulse, and we will hear that while listening to the stethoscope. Go ahead and pump it up to about 160 millimeters of mercury. Make sure you have a good visual of your gauge. Once at 160 millimeters, we want to go ahead and release at about 5 millimeters per second. And listen for the first Kirchhoff sounds that we can hear. As you hear the sounds, now you're listening for the fading of his sounds. And you can go ahead and release the rest of the pressure now that you've heard the last sound. So our top number, our systolic rate, is, what did you get?
120.
120. And your diastolic number, or your bottom number, was?
74.
74. So 120 over 74. The normal range of an adult male, or adult in general, is 120 over 80. So we know that his blood pressure is in the correct numbers. Go ahead and remove the blood pressure cuff. A secondary way of doing blood pressure, unlike manual, is with a machine. We have a machine here, and it's the same task of putting on a blood pressure cuff. There you go, Sherry. With our artery along the brachial artery. Go ahead and apply it exactly the same as you would a manual cuff. And this one, simply press go. We're going to give this several seconds to adjust and map it out his blood pressure. During this time would be a great time to take his respirations while he's not paying attention. Respirations, you're going to count 1 inhalation and 1 exhalation is 1 respiration. We'll have a clock here we can actually set right to the side. We can keep an eye on while we count. So what are the average respirations for an adult?
12 to 20.
12 to 20 per minute. 1 respiration is 1 inhalation and 1 exhalation. So you're watching for the rise and fall of the chest. If you allow the patient to know that you're counting his respirations, he's going to change how he's breathing. He's going to change up the numbers, and we want an actual number of what his respirations are per minute. We'll count for about 30 seconds. What respiration number did you get for 30 seconds?
8.
So 8 times 2 is 16, and that's an average number for an adult. We see that his blood pressure is very similar to what you got manually. This machine's also telling us our pulse. One way of doing the pulse is with a machine. A secondary way is to manually take his pulse at his radial artery. Again, with our clock, with a second hand standing by, you can go ahead and take his radial artery at his wrist. We're going to count for about 15 seconds. We'll multiply this number by 4. Each pulse will feel like a wave going through his artery.
I got 20.
20 times 4 is 80, so we know that his estimated heart rate is 80 beats per minute. We saw the machine said 78 beats per minute, so we know that the range is very close. Another method of taking the pulse is with a handheld device like this. Simply insert his finger, wait until our light turns green, and it's going to give us another number similar to the machine here and your reading. That's actually his pulse right there. All numbers are very similar and very close. More accurate is the longer measurements. Okay. The last vital sign that we worry about is temperature. One of the new commonly used methods is a tympanic thermometer. Where does the tympanic thermometer go?
In the ear.
In the ear canal. We want to make sure we turn it on and onset a probe. Add a probe. Wait for it to zero out.
Okay.
Again, pull back and up on the ear. Insert until the green tip has disappeared. Press the button several seconds on a beep. We'll have his temperature. And the average temperature for an adult is?
98.6.
Correct, 98.6. So we know that his temperature is in the correct range. Any temperatures between 97 and 99 degrees are considered average ranges. And this concludes our sample lesson for today. If you'd like to learn more, please contact Advanced Training in El Cajon, California.